Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be covering the Yocan Favotank, what it comes with, what you need to get started and how you can use it. So when you buy the tank, you'll get in the tank the instruction manual and authentication card, which basically proves that it's an authentic product, it's not a knockoff. You're going to get the tank itself. You're going to get a glass replacement. You're going to get 3 coils. You're going to get a 0.5 ohm Vickless coil, and you're going to get a 0.2 ohm OCC coil, and you're going to get a 0.5 ohm OCC coil. The coil most likely that will be inside will be the 0.5 ohm Vickless head, and then you'll have 2 extra coils. One will be the 0.2 ohm OCC coil, and one will be the 0.5 ohm OCC coil. For using the Favotank, it's recommended that you have a battery that you can change the watts on, because it's gonna make the use of the Favotank a lot funner, a lot easier, and a lot more productive if you have a battery which you can change the watts on. So the recommended watt range for the 0.5 ohm Vickless head is about 20 watts to 35 watts. For the 0.2 ohm OCC head, the recommended watt range is anywhere from 20 watts to 60 watts. And for the 0.5 ohm OCC head, the recommended watt range is from 20 watts all the way up to 160 watts. Once you have used up the coils that come within the kit, you can purchase coils again, and then if you know you're only going to be using one style of coil, if you're only going to be using the 0.5 ohm Vickless coil with the Vickless head, you can just buy that. Or if you know you're going to be using the 0.2 ohm OCC, you can buy that. If you know you're going to be using the 0.5 ohm OCC, you can buy that. And you might find it available for purchase in like a little box within like a 5-count box, or it might be sold separately. So it depends on where you're purchasing it. It might be sold separately or together. But for example, this is the 0.5 ohm, the wickless head, and inside it looks like a wick running from left to right, a coil with a Canthal wire wrapped around it. But this is the 0.5 ohm Vickless head. And then the OCC heads, they come in similar packaging as well, but it depends on where you're purchasing it. It might be sold separately, individually, or in a 5-count box. Let's take the tank apart and see how to put it back together, where to fill the e-juice, and other features in it. Another feature in this tank is it has different options for air resistance. It has 4 options. So that's the first one. You have one hole with the radius of 1.25 millimeters. The other one is 2 holes. Each hole has a radius of 1.25 millimeters. Then you have a slightly elongated hole. This one has a radius of, not a radius, the length on this one is 6.25 millimeters. And then this one, the length is 9.5 millimeters. So you have 4 airflow settings. Now the drip tip is just a 510 drip tip. So if you ever want to change it, you can change it. But it's a Pyrex 510 drip tip, so it's hard to break. You have your top, your bottom. If you want to take the top off, grab it and screw it off. And the top came off. Then we can take our glass off. Then we can take the bottom off as well. To change the coil, you will just grab it and twist counterclockwise. and the coil will come off. This is your connection post that's going to touch the battery. So that's all of the parts that are in the Favotank. If you ever break the glass, there's one replacement glass in there. If you ever need to buy it again, it can be purchased separately. So now let's put it back together. First, we're going to put our coil back. Once the coil is on, we're going to grab the center body, put it back on. Now we're going to put our glass back on, and the glass might have a rubber grommet stuck to it. The rubber grommet just sits in there, so when you change this glass, just take that grommet off. The top lid has a little screw, and this has a little screw right there too, so the top lid just screws onto place. Like that. And then we can put our drip tip back on. So now you put the Favotank back together. How you fill it with e-juice? You grab the bottom, all of that part that has etching on there, you grab it and you twist counterclockwise. And then you have your tank and plate separated. You hold the tank upside down, and inside the tank you'll see 5 holes. That makes it easy to fill e-juice. Just make sure you do not get it in that center hole. So we're going to fill it with e-juice. So now we have our juice filled. We're going to close it back up. And for the airflow, I'm going to set it right now to the 2 holes, each one with a radius of 1.25 millimeters. Like that. Now let's get our... So right now we're using the conflict mod box with this Favotank. If you're looking for the conflict mod box, we have another video that covers the features, and we also have it available for purchase. So now that we got our tank on, let's hit the fire button. Now the first time that you put it on, you might have to hold it for a few seconds just to get the tank just to get the coil going, the tank going, since you've never used it. But we have it set to 20 watts, so let's see how that does. So that's working very well. You get thick clouds of smoke, and we're using 20 watts right now. If you feel the vapor is cool enough, if you would like it hotter, you can increase the watts. And we have it set to the air holes with 2 1.25 millimeter radius. And there's 2 holes right now in there. If you want to change it, you can change it to that hole, and it's just 1.25 millimeter hole. So you can change it based on your personal preference. But it's a very easy to use tank, but it gives you thick clouds of smoke, and the coils are very easy to replace, and it has the versatility of you using a 0.5 ohm wickless head, or using a 0.2 or 0.5 ohm OCC head. So when you get a chance, do check this atomizer out. It's called the Yocan Favotank, and it's a great tank.